Welcome back, Chicago Hockey Radio. I need everybody on their feet right now. I'm Lee Grossman. With me in studio today, Justin Lynch. Finally here, baby. Justin, how good does it feel to be in person with the gang?
Oh, about time. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. It's been weird doing it on Zoom these last 3 months, but I've enjoyed it. But it's not the same, not being here in the studio with y'all. So really good to be here. Really excited. Just this whole upcoming month plus, to be here in the studio with you guys. A big month of December. Got the Winter Classic coming up, a big January as well. So just good to be here.
Dude, it feels so much more legit that we're,
Yeah, I know, right?
It feels so much more professional having all of us in here together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice.
An actual show.
Yeah, it's like a legit show. Mm-hmm. And we've got a good show, a decent amount to talk about today.
Hawks dub.
Coming off of that, it's always nice to do a show right after a win. But yeah. Should we start with some maintenance, some housekeeping, some
live streaming the game tomorrow, all three of us.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
in the other room.
In the other room. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Normally it's just been me on camera and then Tassos on the in the producer chair, but tomorrow me and Justin are both gonna be on that couch. And Tassos is gonna be on the producer chair. So it's gonna be all three of us.
Nope.
It's going to be Raven.
Yeah, I think Raven.
Oh, you're going to be on the couch with us too? No. You have to. You're squeezing into that couch with us.
Oh, that's going to be a tight one.
No, I think we could do 3 couches.
Nah, I think we might have to do 1 couch. I'm kidding.
I think we could do 2 couches.
Dude, okay, that's so sick.
That's
all right,
be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a fun live stream tomorrow. So everyone, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so that you know when we're live. We're going to do a nice little pregame, I think, on Instagram, probably, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. We will do that.
And yeah, so the stream tomorrow is going to be sick. Make sure you tune in for that.
Going to the game on Thursday, too?
Yeah.
Going to the game on Thursday. So the plan is to do a meetup with anybody that might be wanting to go there.
For sure.
If there's interest, let us know between now and the stream tomorrow, and we could probably formalize things a bit more with that. And,
maybe we'll just post something on the Instagram story everyone meet here,
we'll probably announce something before going to the game though. A little bit. If anybody was interested in that.
But sure. I think they are, because I've seen a bunch of people in chat say when are you guys going to the game, when's the next game you're going to, let's do a meetup. So we all want to do that. And so that'll happen on Thursday. But before that, and Discord too, should we throw that out there?
Yeah, throw everything out there, dude.
All right, we're going to throw everything out there. All right, so we've got a Discord that's in the link. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, both Chicago Hockey Radio. Follow us. We have an X account now. We are on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start using that a lot more. I'm going to get Justin the information so he can get on there too and start using that a bit. Same thing. I think the @ is...
I think it's just Chicago Hockey Radio.
I think the @ isn't Chicago Hockey Radio because it was more than 14 characters. But if you look up Chicago Hockey Radio, you will find the account.
Me, I literally just
me and Tassos took 10 minutes to figure out what was the most optimal @, because it wasn't we couldn't do
tweeting on there the most, I wonder.
Probably me. I use
you're Mr. Mouth over there.
I use Twitter a lot, and I also really enjoy engaging with people on the internet in arguments sometimes, but also. I'm not only negative. Sometimes I leave positive comments, but more than not, I'm arguing with strangers I've never met before. Gonna tone that down a little bit on the show page, but because it's not my personal. But yeah, follow the X account. What else? Did I miss anything?
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Apple Podcasts.
I think we're at 199 on Spotify.
Okay.
Hitting 200 would be unbelievable.
Yeah, I think we're close to 400 followers on Instagram, so definitely help us out there. That would be huge as well.
Yeah, we just need the juice.
Yeah, totally. And the live stream tomorrow is going to be fun.
Oh yeah,
live stream's going to be so fun.
For sure.
Hawks Hour. what do you guys? Do you guys want to start with the Devils game a little bit? Do you guys want to start on Saturday? You guys want to start yesterday with the win? Like that was kind of the more fun.
Yeah, I also didn't get to watch the Devils game because I was working. So.
Well, it was a tale of two games of the weekend for sure. I mean, the Devils game, it's easy to forget. The Hawks were playing good for most of that game. It's really just that 3-minute stretch, similar to the Owls game where it went away. But I thought they locked in pretty strong in the Owls game, kind of cleaned up some of those errors. A full 60-minute effort, which this team struggled with. It came with the dub. So you want to see more of that. It'd be nice to see consecutive wins, something this team hasn't done much of, but against Capitals team that's very good. It's going to be tough to do.
Yeah, but this Capitals team, they are playing tonight in Dallas in like an hour and a half. So it's going to be a late travel day for them.
Catch them on the second half and back to back.
Yeah, catching them on the second half. And we didn't, it seems like the Hawks did not practice today. So, we should be the significantly fresher team. So let's see a hot start tomorrow, please. For the sake of our live stream.
Well, this team has had no issue with setting the tone. I mean, they've scored first 20 times this season. So, but it was nice. It was nice to actually win the game though yesterday. Like that's been something this team. I think we had an 8-9-2 record going to that game after scoring the first goal. I'm not sure how you lose more games than you win. Score the first goal, but we actually came away with the dub. So now we're 500 in that regard. It also didn't screw up the third period too. So that was also a nice refresher for sure.
Yeah, the game yesterday was genuinely fun to watch.
Yes.
Like all three periods were fun to watch. And I don't know if I could say that for really a single game yet this season. I know there have been some fun games, there's been some good outcomes, but a full 3-period effort was I don't remember a time this season where I was like, that was nice.
I used to pray for times like this.
We used to pray for times like this, and hopefully Frank Nazar's staying up for the foreseeable future. We talked about it on the post game, but I just think he already looks so sick. He hasn't scored yet. I think that's definitely gonna. I don't know about you guys. I think that's definitely coming in the next.
I think of the live stream. I'll make a prediction right now. I think he's gonna get that first point, whether it's a goal or assists. It's gonna come tomorrow on the live stream.
I'm with that.
He's knocking the door. I think he looked really good. I watched the highlights again of the game yesterday, just to kind of sometimes you see things differently the second time, and he got some good looks here at the Hull Bertuzzi line. So I keep that the same. I think you keep him with those two, and he's gonna cook here pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm just pleased. The first couple games that he's played, I think he looks like he fits out there. He looks like he belongs on this roster, and that he's an NHL caliber player already.
Yeah.
Tassos, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Frank Nazar, NHL player.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
everything I've seen out of him so far has been. Yeah, you can't send him or Korchinski back to Rockford.
I think it sends the wrong message too. Yeah.
Yeah, what? You play well in the NHL and you're going to get
sent down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I also think that right now Rockford might be in a worse place than the Blackhawks.
They're starting to go up though. They've won their last two. They're starting to figure out Mark Eaton. I think they're 10-11-2 now. But with the amount of talent in that team, they should be well above 500. So hopefully they'll season will turn around here. But yeah, I do think I prefer Kevin and Frank.
The AHL is a tough league though.
Yeah.
That's not. There's a lot of grown men in the AHL.
It's a young team.
It's not.
Team.
And I bet there's a sentiment too, from the older, the OGs in that league. These young kids come in, none of them want to be there. They all want to be playing in the show, and so they're probably like, man, fuck these kids. These kids don't know anything about being a pro.
Nope.
So
You're right.
I can't imagine it's
it's like that Michael
the most
Jordan
fun
meme,
thing in the
fuck
world.
them kids.
Yeah, there are guys who are really good AHL players down there who, have been doing it a while and
Brett Seeley
and probably feel like they're better than some of these young kids,
Yeah.
Which is the case for probably a significant number of them.
Yeah.
I
don't know, maybe a guy that should belong in Rockford.
Who are you going to bring up here? Oh,
who are you bringing up here?
I was going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
Mr. Minus 27. I was going to.
Phil the Thrill.
I don't know. I guess if we want to transition into that, maybe a negative from yesterday is, despite the 5-3 win, Philip Kurashev, who was playing first line minutes, maybe not minutes, but on the first line, still managed to find himself to be a -2. Which feels like every single game he's a -2. If they win or if they lose, it doesn't matter. Kurashev's locked in for a -2. He is a minus 27 right now on the season, which is the worst in the entire NHL
lot, right?
by like 6 or something.
I think like Kirby Doc is second, like negative 21. I think he's tied with Roman Josi. And it's not just NHL. You look at the Blackhawks, the second worst plus minus of the Hawks, I believe is Turbo Teravainen, and he's like a negative 13. So Kurashev is like double that in terms of being worse. So that's pretty brutal. That's pretty telling right there. Yeah.
Tassos, with that situation, what would you do?
Philip Kurashev?
Yeah, like, so I feel like you either put him in the bottom 6 or do you just
should be in the
healthy
top
scratch him? Do you put him in the AHL? Like he's 25 years
Not
old
the
or
AHL,
something?
but he's got to be in the top 6.
You either put him at third line center, you give him 2 competent enough wingers where you say
Defensive
being
guys?
a 35, 45 point guy isn't totally absurd, right? And you see if that role is okay for him, or you play the crap out of him on like the top line, which you've already
done.
Yeah, a little bit. It's been such a rotating cast of players with Bedard. It seems like Donato's the guy that's gotten the most time recently with him, but if you think back to the beginning of the season, and,
Dude, it's been a revolving door.
Yeah, I think the guy I want to see back up there is Teravainen. I think he showed good chemistry for October. I brought that up on the post-game show yesterday. I think the way he's been playing, especially look at the last night, I think he's deserving a promotion. I think swap him and Kurashev would be the move for me, or even get Reichel up there, right? I mean, he's been playing 4 or 5 minutes all year. Maybe swap Kurashev and Reichel's roles to see how they do, kind of those positions, right? I think Reichel, give him an extended look, not just a game or two and send him back down there. Give him an extended look in the top 6. I think that's where he should be.
Mark Lazarus of The Athletic has been like very critical of keeping Kurashev seemingly all year in the top 6
Trying to make fetch happen.
despite his lack of production. Which it's like for the longest time, even the start of this season on the show, I was like, no, like I know he's in the minus, but like I like Kurashev. I think he's got potential. But it's like it gets to a point where
Fixated
it's like
on last season.
it's insane. Like he's always out there when we're getting scored on. I don't think it's like a coincidence. I don't think you get to a minus whatever. He's probably close to minus 130.
Okay, then ship him out the door.
Yeah.
And everybody, in terms of plus minus, is always harping up Bedard last season, but I think Kurashev was like considerably worse than that. So, I mean, his defensive game, it's not like when he's not producing offensively, he's still contributing. He's not. So that's a problem.
He's not playing well, but he's not. I've heard some things that he might go over to Europe, and
Still good for that
he's a National Hockey League player.
Yeah.
I said this about Tony DeAngelo. Like, do I necessarily believe everything, or align myself
He's
with
cooking in
everything?
Russia right now, yeah.
Yeah, but no, like, should Tony DeAngelo probably like be playing on a league minimum contract somewhere in the National Hockey League?
Is the baggage wise been in
yeah,
NHL?
and his defensive awareness isn't great, but
you can quarterback a power play.
I don't know, for league minimum or something like that, as opposed to some of these players that some of these teams are trotting out there, Like, I know Michael Kesselring is a good player, but, like, come on, Utah. Are you trying to win games? Or are you trying to, contend for a playoff spot here? I don't know.
Something I wanted to ask you about it. Me and Justin talked about it briefly when you were in the other room, but we talked about, like guys like Brady Tkachuk having like a lot of power, and Connor Bedard probably
Connor
made
McDavid.
Connor
Dictated
Connor
his lineups?
McDavid definitely. Connor McDavid is the
general
He's calling the
move
shots.
over
He's
Stan
basically
Bowman.
the
You know me now.
coach of it.
Stan Bowman's an empty vessel
Stan
over
Bowman's
there.
his puppet. Huh?
No, but Connor Bedard. Do you think maybe there's a chance that Bedard really likes playing with Kurashev,
think last season,
and that's why you don't? I think there's a chance.
He's talked a lot about it.
No.
Dude, why
I
is
think
he
there's
still in this
zero
top?
chance.
Especially under Luke Richardson, this kid he only got healthy scratched one time, and he was terrible the whole time. Why?
He's
Not to be that guy. I think it was actually 3 times, but
Was it 3 times?
Yeah,
Philip
so it's 28
Kurashev is not
games,
like
right?
the Mitch
31.
Marner to, to Austin Matthews.
That's
You know
the-
what
I'm
I
not
mean?
saying he
That's
is,
the
but
elevated
there's
But
Kurashev
those are
last
the
season.
types of players
That's the
that,
elevated
you know what I
Kurashev.
mean?
no. I know, but I don't know.
It'd be like if they went out and got somebody and, didn't put him with Bedard.
I'm just saying that regardless of his like play, they might be buddies, and
They don't have the type of player on the team that he would be like, hey, I want to play with him.
You don't think there's
anybody
anybody
in October how much those two share the same brain
You don't
out
think
there?
there's anybody on the team that
No.
he's like, I want to play with
Nope.
this guy? Really?
I think
You think he
wants
doesn't
to play
give a
Turbo.
shit at all?
Oh, maybe.
Like that's crazy.
Maybe.
Like even when like growing up playing sports, like there were guys like even if my team was horrible, there would still be guys that I'd prefer to play with than other guys.
Clearly, that's why Joey Anderson's opponent for those few games. Bedard just clearly wanted to play with Joey Anderson, apparently. Nah, I'm just joking. But that's the only thing that explains some of Richardson's decisions there. But I'm so glad at least Sorensen seems to be more willing to have these one-on-one conversations with Betsy and see what he could be doing better in terms of unlocking his game. It seems to be working, right? I mean, in terms of Bedard, he has 7 points in 5 games under him. I know he'll claim otherwise, though it has nothing to do with me, but I do think this different system has something to do with it for sure. Just this less stuff at chase hockey and more just playing, getting back to the basics of the offensive zone, more possession, more shots. I think it's been good to see that.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. Somebody in chat said Project Khrushchev is so over, if you ask me.
I mean, you look at his career, though. Like, he was a 20-point guy until last season. Like, last season's kind of started to look like an outlier. I hate to say it, but I think he could still be a bottom 6 player. And that's where he should be playing on this team at the moment, I would say.
But also, like, the archetype for a bottom 6 forward in the NHL is
good defensive responsibility.
is a
Grinding
responsible,
in the trenches. He doesn't do that.
like guys that you can throw out there to kind of eat clock, eat minutes, play, a tough style of hockey against. If you're playing somebody better than you, you need to be able to hang with them at least defensively. And Khrushchev is proven that he doesn't really do that, even though he does play sometimes on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
Just because a guy plays on the penalty kill doesn't mean that he's a good defensive player, because
They're
it's
looking
like,
for those short-handed breaks, maybe.
yeah, killing penalties doesn't mean anything when you're turning the puck over all the time 5-on-5 and sending the other team on odd man rushes all the time.
It's funny you bring up the PK. It's an interesting stat. As good as the Hawks PK has been lately, I think they've gone 10 games or so without a goal, 9-10 games, something like that. I don't think they've scored a shorthanded goal this season yet, which is kind of interesting. Maybe having Nazer up here, I'd throw him in the PK. Maybe he can get a shorthanded look or something.
I think it's because the only guys getting shorthanded looks are like Ilya Mikheyev and.
Yeah, Mr. Can't Finish there. Yeah. And Nick Foligno is too slow, as Bedard would say.
Yeah.
But he's great in that role. Hopefully we'll see him back tomorrow, too. I know he missed yesterday because of the illness, but definitely missed seeing the captain out there. It was kind of weird seeing Pat Maroon rocking the extra A, like of all players. But I get his experience. I'm not really parked around that. But I would have given it to our boy, but that's me being biased.
Yeah, with Foligno coming back, it'll be interesting to see what the...
Does he slot back at the third line? Does he move Turbo up?
Yeah, who
Does
comes
he keep
out?
The line the same?
Who comes out? And
Probably Anderson. He probably gets scratched. A lot of times they'd be double shifting Bedard anyway, right? There were a lot of shifts that last game. He was out there with Maroon and Reichel even, and they'd take Anderson to shift off. So I think Anderson's probably the next.
Okay, I have the.
But also Craig Smith.
okay,
go ahead.
sorry. No, this is better than what you got. I promise. Okay, so Justin is correct. The Blackhawks are one of 4 teams in the NHL who have not scored a power play goal this season.
Shorthanded
goal, sorry. Can you name the other 3?
Who haven't scored a shorthanded goal?
Yeah. I will give you...
Would they guess?
Hold on. I will give you 5 guesses for the 3 teams.
Ooh.
Are these teams? Are we going to be able to guess these, or is it going to be
What
like?
do you mean are you going to be able to guess
Like
these?
if Carolina has not scored a shorthanded goal, I'm not going to guess Carolina.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Okay, all right.
I'll say Predators just because you're tied for last.
No, but that was a decent guess. But no.
I don't think-
Buffalo.
No.
You do realize right now we have 5 guesses to pick,
both of us
3
had 5
teams
guesses.
in the NHL.
But you got by
That haven't scored a shorthanded goal. Think of bad teams.
Oh yeah, so that's what I was asking. Anaheim.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's one of them.
I'm a beast.
Okay, these 2 teams aren't maybe like bad teams. Okay, and
I'm not guessing. Don't guess San Jose. Don't guess San Jose.
Okay, I was gonna guess them.
No.
It is not San Jose.
Yeah,
I'll
I
give
don't
it
know
that.
puck apparently. I'll just let you guess.
The Buffalo Sabres.
He already said that. So I
Was that a no?
Yeah, it was a no.
Sheesh.
So I'm looking for 2 other teams now.
Yeah.
In the
They're
entire-
both in the Pacific Division.
Okay, that's a help. Flames.
No. Get these next 2 perfect, otherwise.
Seattle.
Yeah, 1.
Let's go.
Can I
The
get?
other one is in a Vancouver. I already said it.
In the Vancouver area.
In the Vancouver area.
Oh,
No, I was
could
gonna
that
say
be?
they're in the second wild card spot, but yeah, they are.
Raven,
they are.
was that what you were gonna guess?
No, I was gonna say what someone in chat said, which was the Pens.
Oh, no,
So Zero's shorthanded goals.
they're also not in the Pacific. Interesting. Wow.
Raven. What did Raven say? Tampa Bay.
No. He said.
I'm just chirping him. I'm sorry, Raven. Love you, bro. Yeah. No, so the Hawks have not scored a shorthanded goal yet this season, which is not really shocking.
It's also not a problem, you know.
No,
Like we
no,
have
it's
one of
not.
the
It's
best
not-
penalty kills in the
I just thought it was an
league.
interesting stat. I'm not saying that's, anyway. Yeah.
I would love to see Nazar on the penalty kill.
Yeah, I think he's been doing that in Rockford. He's been doing great there. Nazar's such a good two-way player, too. It's not like he's, a
Which is
one-trick
awesome.
pony, right? He's responsible on both ends of the ice. Like, even these 2 games, yeah, he doesn't have a point yet, but he's looked good in the D zone, right? He's doing all the right things, as Lee said yesterday. Like, he's gonna break through here pretty soon, I think.
Is that not like the exact archetype you'd want for a second line center?
That's exactly what you
like
want, right?
a play driver, talented player who's responsible in his own zone, can kill penalties, good defensively. Like it's
That top 6 already looks so much better with him in it. That's been an issue all season. There's been a hole in that spot in the lineup, but I think he fills it really well. And I think that's like more goals and more production is going to continue to come just by having him up here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to like finally start seeing some of these, chips falling into place for the Blackhawks. Like all this work that the front office has done in the draft the past few years for now, like for us to finally start seeing it a little bit is nice. But I think we're all very realistic that this team does have a long way to go. And there's a lot of vacant spots that we need filled.
Exactly. I've been yapping a lot on this podcast that Bedard's the only player on this team drafted by Davidson we've gotten to see, but now all of a sudden there's 3 of them, right? He's got his warm-up buddy Kevin back and now Frank too, so we got 3 players who are really, real Blackhawks, you say, in addition to guys like, Lucas Reichel, Alex Vlasic, etc. for sure.
Yeah. It's so nice to have these guys on the lineup just for us too. Like it's so that I actually care when I'm watching.
More
the
fun to
games.
watch.
Like,
You're more invested, in the games for sure. You're not just watching a bunch of temporary unks out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching the future.
It's like I'm not gonna lie, when that third line's out there, I'm like I do not care if these guys score a goal. Like I kind of don't want them to. I don't want them to take the goals.
Not
away
a big
from,
Ilya Mikheyev guy.
It's just like I want to see real Blackhawk.
I know what you mean. Like those games where we scored 1 goal and the 1 goal has come from like the third line or something.
Yeah,
Or
it's like, dude,
really?
why the fuck did I just watch this?
Yeah,
dude?
just wasted 2.5 hours about now.
So Justin clipped up the clips today. Justin did the clips today for the first time. So shout out Justin for that.
Thank you, appreciate
Do we
it.
want to let's listen to some clips?
There's some good ones here. Yeah,
You guys want to
to
do Sorensen first or Bedard? I
Yeah, let's start with the coach. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's talking about his system.
I won't
yeah.
be able to hear it today. Shout out.
Yeah, I mean, awesome to. It's like just a good answer from a coach, like not taking any credit for the success that he's had, and just being like, "Yeah, look, we're pretty open with like, we need you to do like this and this, and then go play." you
Yeah,
know?
and I'll be a bit kind to the sorts. I do think he deserves some credit, but at the same time, like how much is it really him? And it's Betsy's had this in him all along. It's just making these minor tweaks, right? We're able to bring it out of him. So yeah, I think it's more due to Betsy. We're seeing this production, but I do think Sorensen, kind of switch the things up. Is a big part of that too, right?
Chat's saying right now that they didn't hear audio there.
You can play it again if you want. I should have fixed it, but it's up to y'all.
Do we want to play the audio again?
Yeah, you can play it again. Yeah, you can play it again for everybody.
Run it back.
Okay, now it's not picking up at all. What the hell?
Anyway,
And 0 for 2?
Yeah, 0 for 2.
Oh.
Strike 2. It's all right. We're still in it. No, but he just said that literally what I said, basically, just that he doesn't think he's really responsible for the uptick in Bedsy's production the past few games. He's just like had some conversations with him about a couple things, minor details that they want him to be focusing on, and then other than that, he said that we just want him to go out and play hockey, which is a perfect answer and exactly kind of what you want from a coach. You don't like with players like Connor Bedard, if he's not scoring, nobody has to tell him, like, hey, if you're not scoring. Like, yeah, he knows,
Yeah, no.
He knows when he's not playing well. So yeah, I'm pumped to hear that from a head
Very
coach.
impressive from Lee. He's got like the transcript in his head he can relay it back to. That's well done there.
How'd I do? Pretty.
Yeah, no, I'd say you summed it up pretty accurately. That's pretty much exactly what he said. There you go. We got Anders Sorensen's clone in the studio here with us.
I am actually part Swedish, so I'm just kidding. I actually don't think I'm Swedish at all. Do we? Should we risk going to another
Oh,
clip?
man, that was strike three, man.
No.
It's a
We
Raven.
should have it.
No, but not the. We don't need to play the.
No, I
Sorensen
know.
one. Okay.
Which one do you want next?
Which one do you want next, Justin?
Well, it's listen Bedard. Let's see his take on it. The system. I think the question's being asked if Sorensen's system has any. Pretty much the same question that Sorensen was asked to Bedard. In terms of what's responsible for his uptick in production.
Might be better off trying to call Connor Bedard.
Porter audio is really quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think could be both. I feel like he's been really good with me, kind of one-on-one, helping me out, and I think we're playing a little more aggressive, which obviously benefits the offensive side. But obviously I like to think I can make plays and produce, and that's kind of what I want to do. But he's helped me out a bit for sure.
Oh, there we go. Chat got that
Can
on.
they hear it?
Yeah,
There we go. Third time's the charm, boys. We got there eventually. It's cool. That's the Bedard effect right there. He was speaking. He just brought that into play there. So well done there.
Did you say we might be better off trying to call him?
Yeah, I'll DM them right now. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hit me up, Connor.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, good. It's nice to hear him acknowledge what we've all been talking about, how this team is clearly playing more aggressive
It's
now.
pretty obvious just watching it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, for the rest of the season, even if we're not winning all the time, he just sounds more positive. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be beneficial for the offensive production if we're playing more aggressively. So yeah, as long as I'm not hearing any quotes from my cornerstone fucking piece about how he's, never felt this bad and that he feels like he sucks and that, some of these bad quotes he was dropping for the past,
There's some bad ones, man. Like he's clearly got the confidence of the swagger back. We brought this up, and he's not beating himself up in these interviews anymore. I mean, there were some depressing ones to listen to. So
Yeah, I
think
do
it's just
that.
good to see the team in general. Like the vibes are back. I know we're only 2-3 under Sorensen, but the games have been so much more enjoyable, so much more watchable. The team seems more in sync, and I think it's just going to keep trending upward too. We're going to get more guys back from injury too, right? Seth Jones, Peter Mrazek should be seeing them back soon too, and that's only going to help the squad even further.
I think Seth Jones coming back into the
gonna be
lineup
huge.
is going to do a lot of very good things for the
missed him a
entire
lot.
team.
Yeah.
And I also, in a way, think that him being out for this period of time has also
classic.
kind of helped us out a little bit, just because we've gotten to see more young players. The Creviers, the Allens, the Kaisers, Korchinski now, just allowing them to get into the lineup.
How about Alex Vlasic
And then-
stepping into that,
yep.
that 1D role? I mean, he's done
Yeah.
fantastic from that regard. So, and I don't think that would have been made possible, if in the second D pair with, Seth, like he's been able to kind of step in that first power play unit as well and done a great job there. I think we brought this up yesterday. Why not keep him there for a little bit, right? Make Seth take that role back from him over time.
Yeah. And just him sliding back in, it's kind of just pushing all the rest of the talent down the lineup, which is a very good thing. You're not going to have, as many nights where it's like we're having who and who start together as the third
thing,
pairing.
that's going to be tough when he's back, too, because pretty much most of the time that you're on the ice with opposition, you got to go through either one of Seth or Vlasic on the back end. That's going to be a tricky thing to deal with.
Somebody just said in chat, which is a really good point, is They said, I wonder how Seth's going to look with a new coach. And you know,
I think that's going to help him out too, because Sorensen's been so big with the defense getting more involved in the rush and the attack, not being so conservative. And Seth Jones, you know, he's an offensive defenseman. He loves to get involved in the O zone and kind of roam around. So I think this system's going to help him out. I think he's going to be even better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mr. Nice 14. Great comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to hear the
What
last
else?
clip?
What do you guys
Is there
think
one more
about tomorrow? Oh yeah, you want to hear?
I think it's from Alex Vlasic. I think he talked about like just not how the Hawks are not able to collapse in the third period, but I kind of locked in this time, learned from their mistakes the last 2 games.
Yeah, let's run that.
I mean, yeah, I think going into the third period, like in between, intermissions, that was something that everybody was just kind of piping up, and enough of what's happened the last week or so, or I guess all season, honestly, just with the way that we've been able to blow leads. And so today, for us to do that, I think everybody kind of just had to bear down and make the simple play, and it was a matter of time before we were going to get one.
Bear down?
Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I threw that in there pretty much. He said it a second time, too. I could have clipped that as well. Maybe he was alluding to the Bears game tonight, which I'm sure that'll go very swimmingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just from Vlasic, I think you're good to hear that, right? Just this team kind of learning from their mistakes, which is something that under Richardson, I feel like we'd see the same things over and over again and just not really see that progression. But, it took twice, third time's a charm. But they definitely locked in the third period there, which is good to see. And hopefully we'll see more of that going forward, more 60-minute efforts, right? Yeah.
Bear the fuck down, Alex.
Hell yeah.
No, I think what actually probably happened in that second intermission is somebody, I don't know who, but probably stood up in that locker room and said, I need everyone up.
There's a Lee Grossman in there. That's
somebody, if they need that going forward, if they need somebody to come into the locker room and just get everybody on their feet, I'm your guy. But yeah, good. I mean, good for them to not completely collapse again in the third. Do we want to transition here and talk Hawks Caps tomorrow?
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have Ovi in this game.
Yeah, help him get closer to Gretzky's record, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Watch him score a couple times at the UC.
Remember when he had that hat trick to get 800 goals against
Yeah.
us? That was crazy. I bet on that happening. I made some big dough on that. That was nice.
Wait, what was that?
What's up?
You bet on what?
I bet on Ovechkin scoring a hat trick 2 years ago when he was at 797 goals going to the game against the Hawks. He had a chance to get to 800. I bet like $10 that he'd do it, and I won like $300.
Oh my god!
That's like easily the best bet of my career. I don't bet very often, but when I do, like I go all in it.
Were you at the game?
I mean,
no, I wasn't. I was. I think it was like the last game before I headed back for break. So yeah, I wasn't there.
Plus
A
3,000.
friend of mine was there. Shout out Jake Elliott, but he used to love showing videos of that goal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jake Elliott sounds like a backup goaltender that spent like 10 years in the league.
Who was that?
It's a mix of Jake
Brian
Elliott
Elliott.
and Brian Elliott.
Yeah. But in terms of Alex Ovechkin, we won't see him, but I do think he's at least back with the team traveling. So you have to think he's probably going to at least get back on the ice and non-contact jersey pretty soon. Probably still a ways away from returning, which just sucks to see. Like throughout his whole career, like he's hardly missed any games, so it's been weird watching the Capitals without him. But Dylan Strome has really stepped up in his absence. He's been huge there. I'm sure he sounds very familiar to CHR listeners, big Blackhawks fans. I'd say one of the few L's of the Davidson tenure so far is letting Dylan Strome walk in 2022 for agency, get absolutely nothing in return. I think we could have got back for him that deadline. We did Brandon Hagel, could have got some draft picks or something, prospects in return. But no, Dylan Strome got absolutely nothing for him. And look at what he's done with the Capitals. He's transitioned in, smoothly into that 1C role.
He's a legit
He's looked
1C.
really good with Alex Ovechkin, especially with Nicholas Backstrom. His career being over, he stepped into that Backstrom role and he's feeding Ovi. He's feeding him those assists, those apples, help him get to that goal record.
Another Blackhawks legend, Taylor Radish, is on the first line with him as well. So that's what we do. We let players walk and then they become first line players all around the league.
You could already circle it. Those two are going to absolutely cook tomorrow. It's so predictable. So just act surprised when that happens.
At least it's not as bad as the Buffalo Sabres, just to tee up the NHL a little bit.
Yes.
As far as letting players go and watching them.
Eichel, the list goes on.
Brandon Montour,
They have like all stars. Like
Linus Ullmark.
Drafted Brandon Hagel in the 6th round. He never saw light of day with them.
Yeah. Linus Ullmark. all those guys.
Yeah, they're even worse.
You could make an entire team probably just a former Buffalo Sabres all-star team. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably
I think
more
you could
too.
win I think you could win a Stanley Cup with former Blackhawks that are still in the league.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's all sorts then, right?
Have you guys seen Patrick Kane is like gone? He has like won 5-on-5 point in his last
He's had-
15
it's
games
hard
or
to
something
see,
like that.
Like 11 points in 25. He just broke the point drought, but 9 games was the longest in his career. He went without a point, so tough to see. I've been watching those like Red Wings games. I just feel like there's not really utilizing them properly. I think that system is just not screwed over there. I'm surprised Alon still has that job. I think that team's just kind of out of sync, and I don't really see him making a push or anything. They've definitely taken a step back from last season. Not much really to be excited about over there. I think they did just win their last game, but yeah.
They keep using him as like a Instagram Reels merchant. I like every single day.
He's
I
always
go
doing
on,
the puck handling with the
also that, and then it's just videos of his son like fist pounding players.
Yeah.
It's like every single day I go on Instagram Live or Instagram, I see a new video of Patrick Kane's son.
I hate to say, I think Father Time has finally caught up to our boy, our legend. I'm curious to see though what happens if that. Does he stay there? Or does he go somewhere else? Maybe he helps out his hometown team, the Buffalo Sabres, return to the Promised Land. Probably not, but that'd be cool.
I've always wanted that.
Me
I've
too.
always
Yeah, like
wanted
if you're not
see
going to be
that.
with us, go to Buffalo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they need.
I'm sick of watching him in a Red Wings jersey. I can't take it.
Maybe they do. Maybe a presence like that would be nice for that team.
Could be exactly what they need. Yeah.
We'll dig into that a little bit more
Yep.
here in the NHL hour.
But the Patrick Kane stuff has been tough to watch.
Yeah, it's really just being just a
Detroit
huge
is
fan
just
of it.
bad though.
Detroit
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, it's not all on
you know?
him. It's not all on him. They've been playing a lot of like guys like Kopp and Comfort don't really compliment him. He hasn't always been playing with his boy DeBrincat. It's like I don't understand that. Why would you bring him into not playing with Cat? Same thing happened in New York, right? They brought him at the deadline. He hardly played Panarin, which made no sense. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really even try to spread out their wealth of talent at all. They just like,
I mean, there isn't much of it.
it's everyone that's healthy on the first line, and then whoever else gets put on the second
It's
line.
not
and
just him that's struggling. Outside that top line, like really nobody in that offense is really probably producing the way they should. Like Tarasenko has been mid as well, so he's not alone. But it is tough to see. Just as a Blackhawks legend, favorite player of all time. Although hopefully Betsy will take that torch one day.
Yeah, no, Kane's my goat.
Yeah, you never forget your first love. Yeah. Not like that. Allegedly.
What else do we want to tee up the Kraken game at all, or should we kind of
We'll
wait?
save that for the Wednesday show.
We got a
Yeah,
Wednesday
we have,
show.
we have a whole show Wednesday.
We've got
to-
so much content
We
before
got
the
so much show.
Sorry, I'm getting way too far
Raven
ahead
and
of
I
myself.
we're doing the math. It's like what did we say, Raven? It's like 10 or 11 straight days of content.
We are grinding over here. We're in the trenches of this Blackhawk squad.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was 12 days straight.
yeah. I mean, if you just the next 3 days is going to be a lot of stuff from us.
Also, the stream is really laggy right now, and I do not know why. So I'm apologies for everyone for that.
We're shutting down our Wi-Fi. Should we go on a little
Let's hit a break.
for
Let's hit a break.
Well,
Yeah.
before we do that, someone did just ask Bears Vikings predictions, so go for that.
Make yourselves look really bad for tomorrow morning listeners, for Tuesday morning
Oh yeah,
listeners.
we're gonna make that. That's gonna be an irritating.
What are
live
your guys'
stream tomorrow.
predictions for tonight's football game?
Vikings a lot, Bears a little.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll be that bad. We are 7-point dogs. Hold up. Let me check my sports betting app to see what the percentage of action is here. Actually, everyone's on Minnesota. I might like the Chicago Bears to cover 7 points. Yeah, I'll say Minnesota wins 24-21.
I don't think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be ugly, but I like for it to at least be respectable. Caleb Cook, that's all I want to see, right? It's like if the Hawks, as long as Bedard gets a goal or assist, it's a win. If Caleb has a TD or whatever, that's a W.
I think our defense matches up well against their offense, though. They've got some really good receivers, and our secondary is pretty nice. So if Jalen Johnson's able to clamp up Justin Jefferson again, I think it could be a close
Justin
game.
Jefferson, it was pretty interesting in every shift episode when he met up with Bedard. That was quite the combo there. Yeah.
Justin Jefferson for president. All right. Cool.
Let's hit a break.
Hit a break, and we'll be back in just a brief moment for NHL Hour. All right, welcome back, Chicago Hockey Radio. Sorry, that break took a little longer than expected. I did spill the hell out of Tassos' water that was sitting on the floor, which is always a good place to put your cups of water.
You know what?
What a dumbass.
You're fine.
No, it's my. I shouldn't have kicked it. It's not a football.
Pardon me for existing.
No, not a lot of room back here in this corner. But we're back. Hawks hour, Jesus. NHL hour.
-1 out of the gate.
All right, I'm a -1.
We're cooking.
Okay,
The National Hockey League.
the National Hockey League. So you guys want to talk taxes or?
Yeah.
No, I'm just
The
kidding.
palm tree taxes?
Crime.
Buffalo?
Yeah, New York taxes, palm trees. No, we're making jokes about Kevin Adams, the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres. He had a press conference like over a week ago now, like a week and a half ago, where, you know, kind of went a little viral for saying that, you know, it's they've had trouble bringing in players that are, you know, UFAs and stuff because, look, Buffalo, New York is not, you know, it's not Miami, you know, it's not South Florida, it's not, you know, it's not Chicago, that's for sure. And he said that they don't have palm trees. They've got New York taxes. And the fan base wasn't thrilled about that. A, because he's kind of shitting on the place where they live. And B, because he hasn't really done a great job at his job, which is
It's attracting players to that, you know, market. Nobody wants to go there because they see what happens to, you know, players that want to get out of there, right?
Hard
And
to
they
do
look
your-
better at their new destinations.
Hard to do your job when the owner won't let you spend the cap.
Yeah, but he in the presser he backed up the owners. He's like, they've given me every possible, you know. So obviously, even if he felt like they weren't giving him, you know, all the best, most resources, I don't think he's gonna say that, you know, because they are his employer. But I mean, dude, since that press conference, they're what, like 0-4?
What a disaster. They've lost 10 straight games now. I mean, we talk about this 13-year playoff drought. It's looking like it's going to be 14 this year, unless they could go on some late run here. But at the moment, I think they're looking more like a lottery contender than a playoff contender. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah. Something that Justin brought up earlier, we weren't live, but you mentioned how Blackhawks fans are getting
Yes.
impatient about this. It's like,
Look
dude.
at Buffalo, man. Like, that's a cautionary tale. I think with the Hawks, it's like we've only been rebuilding for 3 years now. It's not as nearly as long, right? And the future is bright, right? We've got hope on the horizon. Imagine being a Buffalo Sabres fan right now, and I think it puts things in perspective from our side.
Dude, since Buffalo was last in the playoffs, the Blackhawks won 2 Stanley Cups.
Yes, that's correct, because it was the 10-11 season, obviously coming off the 2010 Cup, and they won 2 more. And, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
pretty
we
wild.
have 2 cups in the time that they've been rebuilding. Obviously, they haven't been rebuilding for that whole
entire
time.
Yeah,
but,
no, yeah, but
but we've won 2 Stanley Cups since they've been in the playoffs yet. So if you think you need to be upset over how long this Blackhawks rebuild has been,
it hasn't been that long. Yeah, it really hasn't.
really hasn't.
No.
Not to get back on the Blackhawks, but yeah, I don't know what the Buffalo Sabres need. They were reportedly trying to go after Jacob Trouba, you know, before he moved to Anaheim. I don't know if that would have, like, that team already spends so much money on their blue line. Like,
Blue line's fine. Honestly.
they've literally have so much money wrapped up in their defense that, like, I don't know, like, do you really want to take on an $8 million Jacob Trouba?
I don't think that solves their problems at all. Not at all.
You know, and then it's like your defense is responsible for 45% of your cap.
Did you hear? Did either of you listen to 32 Thoughts this morning?
I did not.
No.
No. Did you? So obviously he brought Friedman brought up
Oh, Dylan Cousins,
but-
actually. I did hear about that.
the
Yes,
Dylan
yes.
Cousins and Bowen Byram for Elias Pettersson.
I did hear about that, actually. At the
But that
hockey guy.
Vancouver
Yeah.
probably does say no to that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a wise move for the Canucks. I mean, Patterson's been playing a lot better lately, too. And I think just Cousins, he's been struggling there. I think he definitely does need a fresh scenery, but I don't think it'll be Vancouver. Maybe
You
somebody.
can't do that if you're Buffalo, though. You can't do that. You can't trade away another guy that, you know.
I don't think they should, but I'm thinking from Cousins' perspective.
He's
But
like 23.
Yeah, but it's not looking too hot right now. But they made that mistake a few times with young players, right? So probably wouldn't be wise to repeat that.
He's
They
got to be older
stink.
than he's got to be like 24 now because he was Kirby Doc's
Kirby Doc.
drafted.
2019
But like,
draft
So it's
pick,
my
yeah.
age. Yeah.
but
He's
like
like 13.
25. Like think of what a human being is. Like at 25, you know, like
Yeah.
you're 25.
I'm 24.
Okay, well you're about to be 25.
I'm not unk status yet. Next year I'm
But
unk.
that's not. No. You should be like.
No,
you
I
should
got
be,
a lot of life left.
You
I
should
got
be
a lot
grown into the person.
keep the vape
like
away.
you know what I
that
mean.
you are.
Like you can't really use the excuse of being like I'm a dumb young kid
Yeah.
anymore.
It's like,
you
dude,
know?
you're a 24-year-old man.
Yeah, like 20. Yeah, once you're
Like
24,
with Cousins,
25.
you know he's a lot better than he's shown to. I know he only has 13 points, 31 games this year, but look what he did at the World Championships. Like he was probably Canada's best producer at the 24 championships, and he's shown it at the NHL level, right? He had that amazing 30 goal, 68-point season, insane in the World Juniors of Canada a few
Facts.
years back. So there's a good player that I know. Even last year was a bit of a drop off too. So the fact that it's been 2 consecutive years of a drop off, not a great progression there. It kind of reminds me of Zegras in Anaheim, but we'll see. Maybe he can figure out there. Maybe he needs to go elsewhere. We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to win Stanley Cups with IHF merchants, but
Don't disrespect the workhorse from Whitehorse.
I just wanted to see Tassos' reaction to that. I didn't actually mean it.
He's trying to rile me
I
up
was
right
trying to
now
get
for
him-
I'm
absolutely
looking forward
no
to
reason.
speak of the IIHF. I'm looking
So
forward to
pumped
the
for the
World
World
Juniors coming up here,
Yeah.
man. 26th, day after Christmas, I believe it begins. I think the USA and Canada have a game, right after the Winter Classic, so it's gonna be a fun one. I think definitely Canada's looking like the team to beat, but I think US should have a strong squad this year too. Should be cinema.
Yeah. Oh, I think. First of all, I don't know how Canada left some of the kids that they left off.
Yeah, there's some interesting. Seneca, they've invited him back to the camp, but they didn't make the squad. No, they get
Same
cut.
with Perek too.
Perek.
Yeah.
But you have Martone, who but to have like the draft
And
eligibles,
Visa wasn't invited either.
and
no.
Gavin McKenna's on the team,
Yeah.
which is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, right? I think the last player, 17-year-old to play the World Juniors for Canada, I believe, was our boy Bedsy. We know we could look back at the 23 World Juniors. That's one of the
Isn't he
all-time
16?
performances. Yeah, I think you're right. He is 16, so that's even the D ahead of the draft season. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty wild.
Our boy's different gravy.
Did you see that girl Nela Lopusanova? Not to go like super.
Oh, and Slovakia.
Oh yeah, that
she's-
16-year-old girl
Yeah,
who's
she's
like
a phenom, right?
She's committed to Wisconsin to be a Badger. But she's not going there until like 26, 27 or something like that. So
Yeah.
like 2 years after this one, I don't know. She had like 18 points in 3 games at the Olympic qualifiers.
insane.
Yeah,
I saw people saying that she's gonna.
not to be a total dork about it, but
No, she seems awesome. I did see people saying though that she was gonna play in the NHL, and I was like, all right, well,
Hawk should take a look at her for that fourth line.
no, let's not be crazy.
yeah, I think the U.S. could repeat. The U.S. is good. They have a
Oh,
good
yeah.
team going.
Yeah. I don't think they've ever repeated the World Juniors. Like they've won, how many gold medals has it been now? I want to say it's like 4 or 5. The World Juniors. But it'd be nice to see them, be able to do that at the men's level though. Like they're great in the junior ranks, but the men's they don't really do anything there. But maybe the 4 nations will change that. Yeah, we'll see. 26 Olympics, the U.S. should have a good chance there.
Did Lardis really not get invited?
It's shocking he didn't for Canada. I would have thought, and it seems like he should have.
He's tearing up.
Scoring at a goal a game right there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But Luca Pinelli, who's a fine prospect, but Luca Pinelli, who plays for head coach of the Canadian national junior team, Dave Cameron's Ottawa 67s, is on the team.
And is he just kind of meh?
He's good. No. He's good. He's good.
He's not Nick Lardis.
Well, no, I don't think he's Beckett Seneca.
Yeah.
No.
They seem to be valuing a lot of experience over they're going to take the 19-year-old, even if they're second or third round picks, over maybe the star first rounder who's a year or two younger. It seems like.
Well, as a USA fan, I'm pumped to hear all this news.
The U.S. have had some weird cuts too.
Yeah, they're gonna have Spellisy. Or did he get cut?
U.S.
or no?
have they released their full squad yet? I don't
No,
think they
they
have.
haven't.
Spellisy was invited to camp. Moore will make the team. He'll play a big part there in the top 6. Spellisy might be a bit tricky. We'll see if he makes it. I hope he does. I think he'd be great in a 4-fly role in that tournament. That's a great role player, 13th forward, whatever. We'll see. Hopefully he makes a squad. That'd be nice just to have a few Hawks to look forward to watching. Because I don't know if there's going to be a ton this year, to be honest, but hopefully there'll be some. I think there's a lot of the best Hawks prospects are in the college ranks right now.
Yeah, Minnesota just lost to Michigan State twice in the past 3 or 4 days. But Our boys are still looking good.
Yeah,
down there.
Moore and Menzel have been playing. Moore's been really picking up. I know he had a slow start to the season, but he's been playing a lot better. Minnesota, Menzel's just kept doing what he's been doing.
All right. How do you think Buffalo fixes this?
You gotta.
It's not an easy fix.
Like, what do you do if you're the Sabres to fix?
I honestly don't know.
You need.
Like, you have the goaltending. You have, right, in theory, you have UPL's good.
Yeah, Levi's been strong.
And Levi.
But he's young.
He probably should be in the American Hockey League still.
Yeah,
maybe
he's being thrown to the wolves right now. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
The defense, you have Power, Darlene,
yeah.
Byram,
Yoki
and then you have
Haru.
Matthias Samuelson, all of whom are lefties.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. You know, your best right-handed defenseman is Henry Yoki Haru.
Blackhawks legend.
It's a bit like the Blackhawks, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have Darlene, Power, Byram, Samuelson. Even though the Samuelson contract isn't as good, I think it's a fine contract, but it's not.
Yeah.
I think you have to bring in.
I just don't know what the problem is.
I think you have to bring in like a legit stud forward.
Like Tage Thompson's a good player.
You need a needle mover.
Yeah, somebody to compliment him, right? Because like Tuck's good, but he's not really like. There's a drop off between like Thompson and like the second, third best Buffalo forwards.
You need like a proven star. That
Are you
like,
telling me you can't even make the playoffs with the amount of elite
should.
talent
Like,
they
you
have?
look at that
no,
roster,
it's
that should be a
shambolic.
playoff
But that's what I'm saying. You need a guy in that locker room that's like been there, done that.
Patrick Kane.
You know? No, but like in his prime
Yeah,
now.
I'm joking. Yeah,
like
it's a hometown
you
story.
need.
There's not a lot of those guys available.
No, there's
Yeah,
not.
that's the issue, right? So it's not an easy problem to fix. And honestly, I think they're kind of screwed right now. I don't know what they can do.
I mean, they also need fucking guys to take accountability. You know?
Yeah.
like you just said, Tassos, that roster has a ton of talent. It's just like if you're not producing and you're not winning games, like you can't look I know like fan bases love to blame management, you know, and for different situations, but a lot of the times like this one, it's like, no, this team should be a lot better than they are.
Yeah,
And so it's like, is that Lindy Ruff's fault? Like, are you gonna fire Lindy Ruff and then who comes in then? Who's
Not
gonna
many better coaches. Like that's as good a coach as you can get. And it's still being an issue. I thought that would help out their problems, but it hasn't. It's been a theme with the Sabres. They always have like these rough stretches to start the season, and then they spend the rest of it trying to play catch up, right, and make these late runs, and it's always like not quite enough in the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Tassos, how do you fix it?
Well,
Wave a
Is
magic
there an
wand.
answer? Like
Expelliarmus.
the bottom six is kind of tough.
suspect.
Yeah, I want to look up exactly what we're working with here. But, you know, Jordan Greenway, Yuri Kulik, Jason Zucker has been good for them. Beck Malenstein, not, you know, really doing it for me. Ryan McLeod was they traded Matt Savoy for Ryan
That was
McLeod
an
basically,
interesting
which
trade,
was super
man.
weird.
Like I know he's a good bottom six piece, but wow, like that's a great prospect there. I know he hasn't really made to the NHL ranks yet, but that seems like not a wise move from their end.
And Peyton Krebs like isn't
Yeah.
really like
Not live up to it so far.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from their perspective, dude, they've been drafting. You know, they've
been drafting prospects
They've
for a
been
while
in the
now.
business
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
promising young prospects for
they
over
feel
a
like they can
decade,
give
and
up
where the
some
hell
of
has
them.
it gotten them? You know, so
Yeah.
it's like, I bet from their fans, you know,
But you
like
can't get a better player than fourth liner Ryan McLeod.
The return was sus. Like you tell you, I feel like they could have gotten more back from him if they maybe threw in another pick in there or something.
And then, you know, the Zucker, like I said, Zucker's good, but, you know, Jack Quinn hasn't been as good as he was supposed.
Yeah.
Like, they want him to score 30 goals, and he's got, like, he had 2 yesterday or
I
something.
feel like Paterka is one of
Yeah.
the few like young forwards that is actually probably playing to his potential right now. A lot of them seem like they're having issues at the moment. And Blackhawks legend Sam Lafferty he's not having a good season either. I think he has like 1 goal in 22 games, so he hasn't really been helping out that bottom six much either.
Yeah. Oh, somebody in chat, Andrew Crystal got cut from the World Junior team.
Really?
That was, Andrew Crystal's the best player, not named really like Gavin McKenna in junior hockey right now. I guess some people would say like Easton Cowan or something like that. But
I wanted the Hawks to pick him. I know he was good roller skating buddies of Connor Bedard over there in Vancouver. But yeah, the Capitals got a good one there.
yeah. All right. Well,
Speaking of the Capitals, if you want to transition to NHL,
Yeah.
or maybe talk about some of these games tonight. There's only 3, but literally all 3 of them are absolute bangers. I mean, we got the Caps versus Stars. Hopefully the Stars will tire out that Caps squad and make it kind of tee us up for the live stream tomorrow. And then we got Panthers Oilers. We got a Stanley Cup rematch there, potentially a preview of this year too. We'll see what happens there because the Oilers have been looking a lot more like themselves lately. They're looking more like the playoff Oilers and not these like early season Oilers that have been struggling. So their records are pretty much they're identical, right? 18-11-2, 18-10-2. So that'll be fun. And then to end it, we got the Avalanche and the Canucks. That's another fun game there. So all 3 of these games I think can't miss. But I might still watch the Bears out of all of them, but we'll see.
Yeah, me too. Panthers Oilers is going to be sick.
Yeah, that's a good night.
Yeah, I mean, really, all these games, it's rare. I feel like on these off
Colorado,
days,
Vancouver's late one, right?
yeah. We were just talking before the show how like the NHL does this thing where like the slate tomorrow is massive. Like you got everybody playing tomorrow, and then you got these like off days where you only have like a couple of games. And normally on these off days, these games suck. So it's rare to that you've only got 3 and they're all like actually worth watching.
Yeah,
Which is, I guess, cool for the
it's interesting how it works, right?
for the Monday night viewers.
Yeah. And how about tomorrow? What we got going on tomorrow besides obviously the game of the night tomorrow is our game that will be live streaming the Hawks Capitals. But we've teed that one up already. We see if the Buffalo Sabres can snap that 10-game losing streak against the Montreal
only
Canadiens.
team worse than them in that division.
That seems like a game that they should be able to break that drought, right? But the moment, when is this drought going to end? Like once you reach this point, it's like you reach that point where every game is a challenge. Like I remember a few years ago, didn't they break the record for like the longest losing streak or something? It was like 18 games, like the shortened 2021 season, something like that. I could be off my hinges there, but I do recall watching that. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Let's just see if they can break their own record there. So I'll be cheering for them from that aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be rooting for the Canadians in that one.
Yeah.
I love seeing stuff like this, like around the league, whether it's good or bad. I just love news. Like, I love drama.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Buffalo fans. Like, they've suffered enough. I don't want to wish more suffering on them. But, I don't know. It's kind of, hopefully, maybe that'll be the change that they need, right?
It's all right. They got a good football team to watch for the next
That's
month
true.
or so.
Yeah. Tale of two teams in that city there, for sure.
Kings Penguins should be a good one, too.
Yeah.
Sit against Sanze.
Yeah, that'll be entertaining for sure. Same draft class there, right? Yeah, both from 05. Let's see what else we got. Our Winter Classic opponent, the Blues, facing the Devils. That should be an interesting one. Definitely keeping an eye on the Blues this whole month just to kind of see how they lead up. Looking a bit better on Montgomery, but still a pretty mid squad, and definitely not the most enticing Winter Classic matchup of all time. But it's 2 rivals. I'm sure it'll be a great game. But yeah, then the last place Predators. We'll see if they can keep
Rangers, Preds.
Yeah, that's an all-timer matchup right now. I mean, the Rangers, we talked about them a lot in the show, how much they've been struggling. 15-14-1. I mean, they're in free fall right there. So that's, and then the Predators, too. We've talked about how bad they are. The only team worse than us. So, yeah, that'll be a battle of ass there.
I think the Hawks have more of a chance of making the playoffs than the Predators right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like,
Yeah.
I think you see.
I think they're more of a hockey team.
the way
They're more of a team.
The way we've looked in
They
the
have no
past few
chemistry.
games, like we actually look decent. Like
Under
if the-
Sorensen, yeah.
If the season started 4 games ago, I'd say we can make the playoffs just because of how we like. Even in the losses, how we've looked. I think once Nazar gets going, like we're gonna have 3 legit lines. My friend just said Hawks can still make the playoffs? ?
Delusion.
I mean, yes.
I mean, no, but
Technically, yes. Like mathematically, definitely. But will they? No, absolutely not.
No, we're still contending for that lottery pick, but at least the games will be more fun, more entertaining. We'll be scoring more goals, and our boy Bedsy will keep cooking.
so I was going to ask you something. Oh, Anze Kopitar. I think it was Steve Dangle podcast brought it up. Has Anze Kopitar's achievements, and let's see if you could maybe have this discussion, if you can't have this discussion without taking away the Hawks bias, we won't have
Oh,
it.
this is comparing him to Tays.
But yeah, I mean,
Yes.
is he better than Jonathan Tays? Has he had a better
I think
career?
longevity helps him. I think his final stats, right? I mean, look at his stats. He's like
Yeah,
well
he's
over
still
1,000
been-
points.
he's
He's
still
won
been
Selke
producing.
trophies. He's won cups. They've accomplished pretty much the same things. I think prime Jonathan Tays was a better player than prime Anze Kopitar. But I think of Kopitar's longevity is probably what gives him the edge of that conversation. Like I would obviously could be biased and say Tays, but I can't really argue with somebody who says that Kopitar's had the better career. I think you have an argument there.
So Kopitar is tied with Quinn Hughes and Mark Scheifele with 21, whatever, however they do the rank. Technically, it's 22 in NHL scoring right now, with 34 points in 30 games. He's on pace for over 95 or about 95 points right now, which would be a career high.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Age doesn't seem to affect him, man. It's
Well,
insane.
dude, also, I mean, you got to think about
Him and Crosby.
the state of LA. Like, they fell off before we did. LA fell off, like, after, like 16, 17.
And they build it back up.
And
man. Look at them
then
now.
they built it back up, and they've been a good team for the past 3-4 years. So his production's gone up like crazy. Like his production the last 2 years were like insane. Like he was, 70 points both seasons. And Tays has been out of the league for like
Yeah, he's been hanging out in India there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hate to say it. Yeah, probably Kopitar. Man.
But I don't know. I mean, you talk about
Prime Tays, though, was probably the
all
third
the
best player in the
awards
NHL.
Jonathan Tays has won.
I think at his best,
same
only
with-
Crosby
same with
and Ovechkin were
Kopitar.
better.
Yeah, I guess. What,
I mean, I'm
have they
taking
both
those.
won Selkies?
I'm taking 07, 015 Tays over 07, 015 Kane.
yeah, well, Kopitar's one, I think. I
Tays
guess
has got a
it's
couple
3.
of gold medals.
Well, okay, he plays for Canada. But
Well,
Anze
all right.
Kopitar
Well,
plays
let's
for
not.
Kopitar's no
Slovenia.
way-
Well,
NHL players ever come out of Slovenia.
let's not start throwing. It's not my fault.
Well, I'm
Kopitar
just
should
saying,
refuse to lose.
like Slovenia was never going to compete for.
Hey, if he's good enough, he should refuse to lose on
Kopitar,
Slovenia.
the one-man
God.
team there, yeah.
He still took. They still made one Olympics. I
Yeah,
think.
they did,
Wasn't
they
it
did.
14 or something? Yeah.
He was playing with plumbers.
Okay. Kopitar's 2 Lady Bangs, one-time Mark Messier Leadership Award.
Tays won that too.
Yeah,
Tays won that.
I could win that award. They give that to.
Yeah, he's a 2-time Selke winner.
Oh
Tays was a one-time. Then he's won a Conn Smythe. Does Kopitar win a Conn Smythe?
no,
No. Oh, there you go.
Conn Smythe,
Okay,
three,
that's-
three
that's
cups.
one.
Three cups
That-
versus 2. 3 cups versus 2 cups.
3 cups versus 2 cups.
Yeah.
Were the Blackhawks a better team though than
Yes.
the Kings?
Obviously,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I mean, not
Yeah.
14,
So,
but
but that's
13.
a
They beat
that's
us
a,
one
that's
time.
that's a point against Tays. Like if the Blackhawks,
No,
the 3
not if
cups,
Tays was the team.
but he wasn't the team. There were other players.
Well, neither
the
was
heartbeat. He
Anze
was the
Kopitar.
captain.
Yeah, but I just
Kopitar
said
wasn't
were the Hawks a better team? You know what
Kopitar
I mean?
wasn't
Like
the
they had
captain
more
during those
players.
cups. It was Brown, right?
Yeah, it was Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
there
that
you
was
go.
more of like an emotional leadership thing at
I
that
don't
point than it
know.
was.
Tays was regarded as the best captain in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right after they won the
Yeah.
cups, they took the C off Dustin Brown. And they gave it to Anze Kopitar because they were like, we knew you were the captain all along.
Oh, well, they give it to him right away then if they do it all along.
Yeah.
Well, okay, not every
Guy
team.
like Tays, he was like 18. They were like, yeah, this kid's got the C.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
just.
that's pretty impressive. Right? Bedard didn't get that, right? Yeah.
So are we able to have this discussion without the bias? I mean,
Who has more like overtime winning goals?
It's got to be Tays.
overtime, like
1000%
regular
Tays.
season or playoffs?
He was
Postseason.
Captain Clutch. Captain
Postseason.
Clutch for a reason.
Yeah,
Playoff overtime goals, or just playoff goals in general.
I guess both.
What's the playoff production?
I'll do filibuster podcast,
okay,
guys.
so here's what I'll say while you're looking this up. If Tays has like any offensive stats more than him, I'm saying Tays is better because like if Tays has better numbers in the postseason and it's beyond just the vibes that we, it's beyond just the Captain Serious, dynasty team. Then it's like, how could you not give that nod to Tays? He was so unbelievable, both ways. And yeah, I mean, it was a rivalry. Like we beat them
And 13 and lost him in 14.
13, lost in and then 15. Did they lost before we even played
Yeah, we
them?
never
Did
played
they
them.
lose to Anaheim or something?
Probably,
Like,
I would guess. And we beat them, obviously, that
dude,
year.
yeah, we made the Western Conference Finals like 4 years in a row.
I
or
think
something.
Tays has a greater legacy. Like Kopitar, you could argue has the better career, but I think Tays will be the greater legacy, I think. Yeah.
And then it's like, is Kopitar the most underrated player of his
Oh,
generation?
1000% he's underrated. He does not
if
get enough credit.
Well, I'd say, I think most people would say that Kopitar is better than Tays.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the stats, right? I mean, he has 1,245
Yeah,
career
maybe.
points. Tays obviously has career prematurely, and we don't know what more he would have accomplished if he never had the long COVID and all that, because he was still playing at an elite level, right? That 2020 bubble series, he was still at his best, but unfortunately, when he came back after missing that season, he wasn't the same player. But again, it's ifs, right? We're getting into what ifs there. I stand by my previous statement. I think prime Tays better, but career longevity wise, we'll give the Kopitar.
Okay. Point Jonathan Tays here. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Playoffs.
Maybe a little premature there.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it was a bit. Ooh.
Is it close? I bet you it's very close. Tays might have a
Fellas.
slight edge, actually.
Kopitar has 3 overtime game-winning goals in the playoffs. Jonathan Tays has 2.
What?
However,
I'm shocked by that. Kane has a bunch.
Anze Kopitar has 5 game-winning goals in the playoffs. Jonathan Tays has 11.
Okay, there you
my
go.
God.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
11.
But he was Mr.
11
Clutch.
game-winning goals. That's
That's
fucking crazy.
ridiculous.
Okay, but Jonathan Tays has played
Yes, probably more because
30. Jonathan Tays has played 40 more games.
I'm gonna guess.
than-
Tays has
40 more playoff
I think he has
40 more
100
playoff
He has
games.
119
So-
points in the
Caveat.
playoffs, right? Jonathan Tays, 119
playoff games
like points. He has 119, I believe.
in 137 playoff games. Yes.
Kopitar
pretty
less.
crazy.
He's Kopitar's less than that, I imagine, right?
Yeah, 80 and
But point per
90,
game
80 and
wise.
97.
That's probably pretty even.
yeah.
Points. Tays probably slight edge there, point per game. Yeah.
Ooh, point per game,
Right.
Justin.
I'm just doing some quick math here.
Yeah,
It's probably
you're-
pretty even.
You're
Yeah.
putting me on the spot here,
Yeah.
fella.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just a fun argument.
Yeah,
fun
it's-
argument.
no, it's great.
It's a tight
and,
one. It's a close
and so
one.
that's what I'm saying. Like when you're talking about like most underrated player, like no, I'd say Tays is more underrated because I think most people would
Recency bias.
say that Anze Kopitar is better.
I think you're wrong.
Dude, I don't. I think people love to not like the Blackhawks, and
Well, that
and
too, yeah.
they're always like when you're talking about the best players from
Tays
this
is on the
generation,
jerseys.
like our guys are always kind of left out. Like Crawford's always been left out of the goaltender conversation. Kane has gotten his flowers just because I think how influential he was completely
he's got that
undeniable.
respect, right? I think people recognize him as one of the best defenders of his time.
Yeah, but like Seabrook and
Osa.
I think all those guys are like
Seabrook incredibly really Nicholas Chalmers even more so underrated.
Yeah.
One of the best defensive defensemen in his time. That reminds me. I would say before this season reminded me of Alex Vlasic, but Vlasic's kind of looking more like a Seabrook now because he's got that two-way game developing, right? Yeah.
You guys know Jonathan Tays' career high in points
81.
in 18-19.
Yeah, 81 and
that's
82.
crazy.
Yeah. He was never really a point per game. I think maybe the lockout season he had 48 and 47. A couple seasons he was close, but he was never, his stats don't jump off the page. He did have one, like the 2010 playoffs, he had 29 points, 22 games, 22 assists that year, if I remember correctly. So he definitely stepped up in the playoffs when it mattered, but his stats, they don't jump off the page, but it's just a two-way game, right? He sacrificed some of those totals for, just being responsible on his own end.
so
right?
did Tays have a
He
higher
did play with Kane a lot. And
Did
Seabrook's
Tays
strength.
have a higher point per game percentage in the playoffs than in the regular season?
Yes.
Like that's fucking crazy.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think Tays, he had like 880 something points.
That's
in 1,000.
that's what the best of the best
883
do.
in
I
1,067
think point per
games.
game, they're pretty close actually, right? Because Kopitar's 1245 and 1403, so that's not that far off. And in playoffs, I think Tays has a slight edge. So that's Kopitar's more to work with there, but Tays also obviously had more injuries and the sickness and all that. Kopitar's always been pretty not a lot of injuries in his career, which maybe that's giving props there, right? I mean, you got to be available, right?
Yeah.
It's tight. I'd say those two match up a lot. Bergeron too. I think
Yeah,
of
but I
those
was
three.
just gonna say
For sure,
Bergeron, those
Bergeron,
three
he owned
are
the
like-
Selke, but I think Kopitar and Tays probably deserved a little more.
But I think Bergeron won how many Celtics?
He won
Yeah,
what?
Bergeron always
I think
got the nod.
Probably rename it the Patrice Bergeron Award at this point.
Yeah,
Did
everyone
he won like 7 or something, like insane? Like he
I will
basically
tell you in
owned
a
it.
second.
I'm gonna guess 7. It could be. Yeah.
You were close. It's 6.
I knew it was
Selkies?
close.
6
Damn it.
Selkies.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
I
just
mean, part of that is got to be bias. Like, are these all like
I mean, he was legitimately an insane two-way player,
Massachusetts
but
like
there were
who's
some years I
voting
think
for these
Taylor
awards?
could have won
Just
more.
like a bunch of Boston college. Like, come on.
The selection committees there.
Like
yeah.
you're telling me that he was always better. Like I
Tays deserved more
guarantee
than
you,
one.
Tays or Kopitar both probably deserved more than what they got.
Yeah, 1,000%. But he definitely deserved, quite a bit of them, but maybe not all 7 or 6, I should say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think once you've won it, once or twice early, it's like you get that net recognition in there, you're more likely to win more, right? And the next one comes easier.
And a player now who I think is
Barkov.
like, yep,
Yeah.
in that cloth is Sasha Barkov.
This year too, I throw him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just talk about what that guy can do. I mean, he can do everything, literally everything.
Yeah.
Perfect playoff player too.
The Selke is all his now. It's him and Nico Hischier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
That's it.
I can't even think of a third person to throw in there right now. It's those two between them, man.
Maybe Kopitar gets 1 or 2 more before he retires.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Just in the name of like, you know what I mean?
Just like
Because
vibes, just like-
just
like-
vibes.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's fair enough.
It's Kopitar's.
Yeah. Didn't Bergeron win his last season too? Am I wrong in saying that? Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
I'm
you're asking
spitballing.
too much of me.
Yeah.
I'm not Sportsnet stats over here.
I have
just-
to like your Wikipedia over
Yeah.
there. Encyclopedia. That's funny.
No, I don't know. All right, do you guys want to crush this pod? End it here.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna smash this mic into the
Okay.
table.
Yeah, that was okay. That was a good first show together, right?
Fun to be here, right? I think it took some time shaking off the rust, different setting, but I think once you get into it, it's a lot easier to do it here. The vibes are stronger. The camaraderie of just
Yeah, it
being
was
here with y'all.
sick having you here.
Yeah, good to be here. I'm really excited for tomorrow's live stream. I think it's going to be a lot of fun against the Capitals. Hopefully it'll be a great game. Let's see another Bedsy game winner, baby. Why not? Why the hell not?
Raven's sweating right now.
Not knowing when he's gonna end the podcast and switch it over.
He's doing it right now.
It's happening. Yeah. Adios.